Good morning. It is Wednesday, EIA day, and we're going to take a look at the market. First, as I scroll through my calendar, the calendar's on the website for your convenience. The thing to look at is the inflow of money into our securities, our treasuries, sending the dollar higher. This is against what the Fed wants. They want to jawbone that dollar down so that they can get some inflation. So when the dollar rises, that sort of goes against what they're trying to achieve. And all this inflow is most likely due to the Brexit, which is set to occur in June. The decision on whether Britain will exit the Eurozone. So a lot of inflows coming in, sending that dollar up. And that's sort of putting the Casbah on the crude rally, which was rallying this week on the disparity between last week's good number and this week's projected number of, here it is, minus 2.833 in inventory. So API is opposite of this. API is estimating a positive. Well, they revised it. They revised it down to a minus 114. Okay. So we have an additional, well, that's a confirmation actually. I apologize. I didn't see that number. So we have a confirmation that we've got some negative inventories, which will bode well for crude, but we're fighting that higher dollar. Okay. So there is a cloud on it. 50 is right there. So let's take a look at the markets real quick. There's nothing in the news overnight. Just that the stocks are sagging as they're expecting an interest rate hike, and we will have the FOMC minutes later today. So that could be also holding the markets down. So whether we get one last push to 50 before the Fed minutes come out, that's a possibility. This is the weekly. We're in the downtrend. 50 is right here, my yellow line. And so we're between some support resistance areas. So let's look at the daily. And you see the uptrend, and we're coming up to that 50 point. So 60-minute sort of flattening out, coming up to it. Might get a retracement and then a takeoff. So I would expect to see a forward pop at the EIA report. The last week's EIA, I'll show you what that looked like. And that was here, right here. It just rallied really hard after that number came out. So what we want to see is a similar pattern after today's report is released. Right now we're in a stall, and I would not be buying this at this time. I would be waiting for a retracement and then a kickoff. Retracement, kickoff. And I want to look at my blue cloud, yellow cloud too. I've put the river of gold, on my charts. I've added the blue cloud to the river of gold because I've noticed that, this is a great area for the algos as well. The blue cloud is without an RTH session. So it's just 24/7, 25% value. So that has caught my eye. So I'm adding the blue clouds, call them blue yellow. And I also have my super trend indicator on my chart to tell me which way the trend is. I have my momentum to indicate momentum divergences. You get a nice down flush, but you get a higher momentum, and then you get a change in bar direction. You can fade that back up to the volatility or one of your levels. That doesn't mean that it's a reversal. It just means that the current flush is over. One instance of a divergence does not mean necessarily an end to the trend. In this case, it did, but it doesn't always necessarily mean that. And a way to trade this is the way I have it set up on my high-low inflections is if I decide that I do want to go on a downtrend and the volatility is leaning down, then I can just come over here and select my short volatility and just capture those trades. I had one loser and two winners. Well, a short winner, but a really nice one right here. So, or you can just put it on super trend short and just really hit these. They're not all inflections. Sometimes they're just dojis staying with the trend and it didn't really inflect. So otherwise, you can put it on super trend so that you get a feel for your volatility and working within your direction and your higher time frame trail or your longer trail, which is you can tell that you're in a downtrend. And when, of course, it gets choppy, that means that there's no trend. And when you have no trend and it's gotten choppy, this is when you want to be fading those tops, right? So it's choppy, red, white, and you get a double top and you have a lower momentum. Hit that. This is the one we want to hit. If you're in a trend, you don't want to be fading these double tops. You want to be taking the breakouts. You're in a nice trend, you get up to a double top. You don't want to be fading it. You want to be pushing it higher on each one of these inflections. So, but I think the blue cloud, yellow cloud is going to really help me. Like today, when I get a reversal back into the value area, I'm going to be looking for it to come to the middle of my blue cloud at 48.33, which is sitting on my first volatility band. So that's a logical place for this to come back into. Also, we have our 24/7 IB initial balance that price is responding to. So did you see that double top right on that initial balance 1 hour high on the 24/7? Do you see how that works? And then we start pulling back. So this is a good time to fade this market due to the trend change. Come back into the value. And if we're going to keep in the direction of the trend, you can just put this on super trend long and wait for that retracement and your next inflection to hit, and you can take it with a stop below the bands, or just wait for confirmation on a smaller time frame. This is a small time frame, but you'll get it. So with that said, here's a larger time frame, and you can see how well this works out. Once you get into a trend on the larger time frame, this is really what you're trying to get. So right now we're in no trend. Fade your double tops. And wait for the EIA report to come out. Here's the direction guide template. I've updated it. I'll be sending it out to the members who have purchased all my members who have purchased the direction guide. I've modified it. I've provided a core super trend filter on this so that you can now use a modified trail on the super trend or my JATS trend. Core super trend, which is open to close super trend, or just your direction. So I like this core super trend. And then leaving it with the weekly, daily 60-15. So when we have a market printing, weekly, daily 60-15, we can flip to that market and place those trades. Right now, this market is moving negative 480. So it's moving opposite of the trend. So you can buy that dip and get back into the trade. Very nice. Crude, weekly, daily 60-15, waiting for that retracement, buy that dip, and send it back up to 50 today. And where's that dip going to come in? I'm looking at my blue cloud. So putting the pieces together for trading and hanging out in the trade room using these templates. So please come join us, pick up a template, and let's make some money. Thank you so much. And the last thing I need to show you is on the website, my rules, disclosures, and disclaimers. The risk disclosure and the hypothetical performance disclaimer on the website. Please take a moment to review those before trading any strategy. Thank you so much. Have a good day.